Welcome aboard, all you wonderful groomers, pet stylists, and canine cosmetologists. You found the Traveling Groomers Podcast, where we discuss lessons learned from mobile and house call grooming. I'm one of your hosts, Chris Bear Anthony. Any moment now, we'll be joined by my co-host and friend, retired mobile groomer and educator extraordinaire, Mary Oquendo, and very likely a special guest to help us chat about all things grooming, grooming industry related, and just plain fun digressions that I will totally wrangle back to topic. Grab those travel mugs and climb aboard to see where today's topic will bring us. Let's roll! Welcome, guys, and take two because we're learning new things. Welcome to episode number 247, or is it number 179? Yes? Both. It can be both. Welcome to episode number 247, aka 179. This snippet was recorded on February 7th in Cozy Clothes and will be airing on February 21st. We've got a lot of stuff going on in our lives. Mary's got a little bit more going on. And we preach so much about self-care, but sometimes talking about it is easier than doing it for yourselves. So we're doing it for ourselves this week. And we thought we would bring you an episode with one of our favorite people that has never appeared on YouTube before. We had the recording, we just didn't use it. So y'all get to enjoy to see Teri DiMarino this time and not just hear her. So if you're listening to this on wherever you get your podcast, pop over to YouTube. There's something new. If you don't want to, don't. It's all right. We won't care. But I also realized we don't have video commercials yet. So I want to take this moment to give a very, very special thanks to our sponsors, Evolution Shears, Hanvey, Andis, Raypet, and Positive Educational Training, because Mary is got education stuff going on. I am a full-time groomer. So their support of this podcast lets us do what we need to do, as well as have the equipment to make it a little bit nicer for you and all of that fantastic stuff. So remember, it's okay to take care of yourself. Take a break, wrap yourself in the cozy clothing, and enjoy today's episode. All right, guys, talk to you later.
Jump to Jagger quick, because Jagger is like the hand whore of the century. Okay. He's 5 years old. He's great. We got him right after we had lost our Doberman Cooper. He's a great dog. He really is a good dog. He's a little headstrong, and he's like, you want me to do what? Later. Thank you very much. Kona, on the other hand, is almost like a border collie type temperament, and that she is probably the closest thing I have had in my house to a border collie temperament. I mean, Kona, do this. How many times? What color? Where do you want me to do it? Over here, over there? I'll do it now. I'll do it twice. Wait, I'll do it right. I did it wrong the first time. I'll make sure I correct it. And I mean, I have no place around me to professionally train. Okay. I was a training director for 2 clubs in South Florida. I could train 4 or 5 days a week and I would, when I had a dog going ready into the obedience ring. I have nobody to train with here. And as we all know, training is kind of the group thing is very, very important. I just said, this is a waste of a dog with me. She could have been a high-end trial agility dog. Okay. But I got no place. I have no guidance in that. I don't have experience in agility. I threw her in the Palm Springs shows a couple of years ago, right before pre-pandemic, BC, before COVID. And I said, I got to put her in beginner novice. And she took second place, 195 and better, 3 shows in a row, bang, bang, bang. She gave me exactly what, and she had a good time. Because I think that's really important when you're exhibiting a dog in obedience. They've got to have a good time. You both have to have fun. It's kind of like drinking wine. You got to have fun. Don't go to a wine club steering committee meeting and expect to have fun. No, I didn't have fun.
No.
But that's my and I miss my kitties. We lost both of our girls the end of last year within about 3 months of each other, and they were 16, 17 years old. But I really wasn't expecting to lose the one that the pillow is of there. She was my heart kitty. She really was. She was a good girl. But that's my kids. That's it. Two dogs.
And I think you said something, you made a really, really good point with the dogs having to like it, because I think that goes for dog shows as well, not just obedience and agility, just the shows. They have to have that personality. And if they don't have the personality where they enjoy it, they're actually not going to do as well. They're not going to show as well, because you want a dog that stands up there like, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Well, I believe Westminster Best in Show Jug, I think a couple years ago, was Pat Trotter. I believe that was her name. And she opened her finished Best in Show judging assignment with probably one of the best lines I have heard so far. He says, "Not all pets are show dogs, but I guarantee you all show dogs are pets." Yeah. And I mean, I showed Tibetan Terriers for quite a number of years, and I did rather well. And I mean, my specialty Best in Show boy, he slept with me. I mean, that was it. He ended up being a competition dog for me. And I had a good time with these dogs. And my show dogs are my pets. They live with me. They were they hung out. They were great. They had a good time. But yeah, they have to enjoy it. And one thing with Chip, and that was my Best in Show dog, got his picture still right up there. If I was, say, going into the group ring, because he would take the breed quite often. If I was going into the group ring, if I didn't let him piss on the post, going into that damn group ring, he wouldn't show for me. He would, no, bitch, fuck you. You know, that's it. I'm out of here. And I would have to drag him around the ring. If I'd let him.
You're also going to have to get video clips too.
No. I am also allowed to draw the line at certain amount of editing.
I want to proof everything. But no, I have to let Chip piss on the superintendent's table, you know, the steward's table, and then showed like a charmer. So, you know, dogs got to enjoy it. People got to enjoy it. When it gets to be no fun, it's time to leave anything. And there was a post, and this brings a point. There was a post on Facebook today of obviously a very, very, I'm going business, okay, very burned out salon owner. And she said, I mean, my heart went out in this post. I felt very bad because we've all been there. She does as much as she can for her employees. She's killing herself to keep her place open. It sounds like she's probably the first one there in the morning and the last one there at night. And she's doing all the cleaning. She's doing everything. And where she's doing okay, her heart's not in it. And I posted, and I don't post too often on stuff like this. I said, but that's when I said to myself, time to sell. Time to sell. When the business is doing well, but you just are not having fun anymore, get out. Get out. Simple as that.
Yeah.
It serves with anything. If you're not having fun anymore, get out.
Yeah, you know what? Which is why currently at the moment, I don't have any dogs to take to my pet first aid classes. I mean, Ricky, my golden, he loved going.
Yeah.
Spirit loved going. But none of these guys, it would be a chore for them.
No, you gotta have fun. You gotta enjoy what you do, and that's what with grooming. I mean, I actually did something. I broke one of my rules. I took a new client the other day, Schnauzer puppy. I helped her get the puppy. I helped her make arrangements. She wanted a purebred dog. You know, and it's amazing. She caught gruff from friends. Oh, why aren't you getting a rescue? She wanted this specific dog. So I arranged for her, and I do channels of getting a good looking Schnauzer puppy. And holy crap, is this puppy going to be sweet? It's good looking. It's well behaved. It's been handled by the breeder. I mean, I just picked her on up, stacked a little show stack on this dog, and she's in a pet home and she's going to be forever loved, and that's it. But yeah, you got to, you know, she's a good dog. So that was my breaking. But then again, today I got an email from another client right down the block, friend of mine. Everybody I do is in my neighborhood. 10-year, oh, well, no, God, dog's got to be at least 12 years old. They had to sleep her today. So I'm like, out with, you know, out with the old, in with the new. I'm not taking new clients, but I'll take this Schnauzer baby. And maybe there's just a reason, you know, so Biscuit is over the bridge today. So the little Lucy is taking her place.
Okay.
Oh, are they hand stripping Lucy even though she's going to be a pet? Now they're just clipping her.
Pet trim,
clipping her.
that's
Okay.
it. Uncropped. That's fine. Good home. I tell you, if I can get this dog, and I said, I don't care who you take this dog to later on. I don't know how much longer I can groom for. I'll hold together for a little while longer. But I said, I want to get this dog trained for you. I want to get her appreciating and enjoying grooming and not thinking of it as a chore. Because I tell you, you know, this is the kind of dog where down the road I might say to somebody, hey, you need a certification dog, you need an entry level Schnauzer, loan around now.
Nice.
I'll get the dog ready for that.
All right. So I suppose we should get back around to the original topic. What, 35 minutes ago?
Yeah, something like that.
Sure.
Yeah.
All right. First,
And
We're just gonna have to revisit this. That's all. You know?
well, I think the reason we went on this topic is because when you have employees or a shop or even your own business, sometimes it's easy to see the problems and to see what issues are. And for an employee to complain to their boss because there are issues. And we're not saying that if you see something that's wrong, you know, you should be able to say something to your boss. You should be able to say, this is a problem that is hurting the business. But when you do that, your next breath needs to be a solution. Your next breath needs to be, and I've put some thought into it, and I think this. And you know, that's your second breath. You know what your third breath needs to be? Shutting up and listening to what they have to say.
Exactly.
Because, and I've done this where I didn't understand everything that was going on that I didn't see. So give your boss an opportunity to explain to you what's going on that you may not realize. Maybe say why your solution wouldn't work. And she may be wrong too. But you at least need to listen so that you can say, I did everything right.
well, that's a different mindset. All right. So there's a couple different mindsets you could have. And one of them is that you're just complaining for the sake of complaining. Okay. There are some people who are just simply not happy. Doesn't matter what the situation is. They will find something to complain about, and they're not happy unless they're miserable. Okay. And they will never come up with a solution. All right. The second person realizes that there's a problem and is going to at least look for different ways around that problem, because it doesn't matter what the problem is, that there's a solution to it. It may not be immediately apparent what it is, but there's a solution. You just need to figure out, how do you take this and turn this into my advantage?
You know, it's interesting. One of the seminars that I give is on paperwork, the paper chase, keeping things legal. And one of the things, when you have an exit form, when you have an employee leaving your establishment, whether they quit or are laid off or leaving on a friendly basis, you have them fill out an exit form. Okay.
Yeah.
And exit forms should be utilized as a tool. This is a tool. You're not going to have, and an exit form is more than just, I quit, I'm out of here. Exit form is, how did you like your employment there? What would you do to improve the employment? These are forms that you can get at any Office Depot or Staples or anything like that. But think of this as a tool, because people don't like hearing negative input. Okay, negative input and positive input, it's a yin and the yang, that's it. Negative, you can learn more from negative input, or what you may perceive as negative input, than you really can from positive. Everybody loves the pat on the back and the praise, but when you get an employee saying, I really love to work there, but the owner wasn't quite as understanding as I would have liked them to be, with, I felt rushed. Okay, let's take that. I had one person just say to me, I feel rushed. Okay, maybe that's the whole flavor of the whole salon. And one line that I have used many, many, many times to solve an issue, or not solve an issue, but to bring light to an issue, be it with an employee or a client, especially a client, is, what can I do to make it better? What can I do to fix this situation? What can I do to turn this around in your mind? And for the most part, with a client that might be screaming and yelling and hollering at you across the counter, what can I do to make it better? People we know as children, if you punish a child, that's one thing. But if you allow a child to choose their own punishment for an infraction, they're going to give themselves twice as bad a punishment as you might have had in mind. Okay. You might be saying, okay, fine, you're in your room for 3 days. They'll say, I don't have TV for the rest of my life. But that's what a kid's perception. Client perception are also the same. Okay. And when you present them with, what can I do to make it better? Or with an employee, what can I do to make it better? What you do is you're empowering them to be a part of the equation. And it makes them feel like they are definitely a piece of the puzzle, and they can do it. Okay, Mary, you got input.
Yeah, and we're going to wait for after the commercial for that.
Commercial, yay!
And then I have childhood trauma to share to argue the counterpoint to what Teri just says when we get right back. But yeah, we're going to need alcohol for that one. Trigger warning coming up.
Uh-oh.
And we're back.
Okay, so I used to, whenever I would redo my paperwork, and I would raise my prices every other year. The only thing I would do differently now is that I would raise my prices every year, but I did it every other year. And then I had all my paperwork re-signed and updated, yada, yada, yada. And I always include at that time a client survey. And would ask a couple of questions. And one of the questions, first two questions was, what do you like about my services? Right. And that was more of a marketing tool. They would tell me what they want, phrases repeated over, those are marketing. That appeals to them, it's going to appeal to other people. Okay. But what it also did is to put the spin on the survey in a positive light. The second question is, what do you dislike about my services? Okay. And then because they had something positive, what I found is what they had problems with, they were already thinking of solutions for that. Okay.
Really? Wow.
Yeah. So it was a bit of a mindset shift, doing it in that order. So that when they sat and they thought about it, and for some people they thought, okay, what don't they like? And so what I would also tell people, if you're getting the same thing over and over and over again from your clients, that's a problem that needs to get fixed.
Exactly. Why does my dog have to be here so long?
Yeah.
Average worldwide for a dog. And of course, we've got the doodles now, but average worldwide is 3 hours. And that seems to be Brazil, Europe, Australia, wherever. And there are still salons that say the dog must be here by 9 and they can't be picked up by 5. And that's the number one reason people go to mobile.
Yeah. because
So-
not all of those dogs are going to be done at 5 o'clock. There will be some done earlier. So why are they sitting there?
And they're pissing and peeing and we're complaining at that. So that is a booking problem. That is a management issue.
But I found that most of the problems were like really easily fixed. They just didn't know that they could say something.
I
I
agree.
mean, I had one client, I wish I could get my dog groomed every 4 weeks instead of 6. And I'm like, well, that's an easy fix. Well, I didn't know I could ask that. Well, we are going to change your scheduling. I had one client with a huge Malamute with butt hair for days. And she goes, I hate the butt hair. I wish you could just shave the hair off. And I'm like, okay, let me go get my clippers. Zip, 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 zip.
Done.
You mean like this? Oh, that's perfect. Yeah, you know what? You just saved me a half hour from the dog's next groom.
Oh, and you do it in front of them to show this is what it's going to look like. Yeah.
Yeah. This is what you mean?
Good.
Yeah. Now, okay. Trigger warning, listeners, times. If you need to go la, 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 because Teri, what you said about having children pick their own punishment, and it sometimes is worse than what you would do.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. That wouldn't have worked for me. My dad was born in 1911.
So mine was born in 1906.
Yeah.
Here was the fucking Titanic.
My dad's version of, or my family's version of a gentle punishment was my mom spanking me so that my father wouldn't have to, because he used the belt.
My father would say, you know what happens when I take my belt off? My
Yeah.
pants fall down.
All right, that's definitely a generational thing.
This is a
My dad
generational
was
thing.
not the disciplinarian. My mom was. And I tell you, my parents were a case of silence was worse. The worst punishment we could have gotten. I really knew I was up Schitt's Creek if they stopped talking.
I'm so
That was
fucking
bad.
jealous.
That was really, really bad. Really bad.
No, my father also had the belt, and I don't ever actually recall him other than one time using it, because after that it was, do I need to get the belt? And that was it. That was it.
Okay, who had the wooden spoon?
Oh, my father? No, I'm sorry, my mother and my grandmother.
Yeah.
My grandmother was from farmland in Germany. Okay, she came over in between
Yeah.
the 2 world wars.
Ooh.
She chased
Wow.
my brother around the yard one day with her wooden spoon.
My mother broke the wooden spoon over my brother one time, and then she moved it onto Teflon. Okay. So,
Okay.
hey, she's a progressive woman. What can I say?
I got a whooping with the belt on a church outing in front of the entire church one time.
Really? A
Really?
public admonishment?
Oh,
kidding.
public.
Get out.
Public. Because
We had a Catholic.
no. Well, I wasn't raised Catholic. My father was recovering Catholic.
Recovering Catholic.
My father was
Like
recovering Catholic.
Catholic light or something.
He was, yeah, actually, this was an Episcopalian church, which is Catholic light.
Catholic light, yeah.
Catholic light.
Like diet Catholic, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And yeah, what had happened was we were on a church trip to the orchard, and they took the kids off to some place to do a Bible study or reading or something. And then all the kids later went, we should go back there. And as a group, we just wandered back there, and we didn't tell any adults.
Whoops.
Because we kind of forgot. And my father made a big deal of he being so pissed off and saying how bad he was going to whoop me once they finally found us. And I mean, we went directly to where they took us and then came directly back. So if anyone had thought to check there, they would have found us really quickly. But no, that wouldn't cross their mind. So then we went in the back seat of the Volkswagen VW van while everybody else was outside, and I got my whooping.
Behind the woodshed.
Yeah, pretty much.
Did you have to pick your own stick?
Oh no, I think that was a belt.
We went directly with the belt.
He went directly to the belt because he got tired of using his hands because his hand hurt.
It hurts. Yeah. Yeah. Wow. Yeah. I did not get slapped that often. I left that for my brothers. Yeah. Dad, they deserved it. Okay. Dad was not the disciplinarian. That was another thing he put on my mother's list. And I really found that being ignored and being just sent to the room and not spoken to was absolutely, it's kind of like a dog.
Well, and because
They
you're
put me in
an
the crate. They put me in
extrovert,
my crate and I was ignored and I was like, oh God, this is horrible.
because you're such an extrovert, that would be a horrific punishment for you. I can see that.
It was horrible.
I can see that. All right. So that was our generational trauma portion of the episode. We could really go on a deep dive on that and say, well, this is why current standards are the way they are, because we've slowly gone, this fucked us up. Let's not do what fucks us up. Maybe let's try something else. Anywho, that was our solution as a generation to maybe try not to do what our parents did.
But I really think that even in a family, there were four of us, and there are the four of us adults now are probably four of the most different personalities. I mean, boom, different. I think what they did was, okay, Bill's here. Oh, this didn't work. Let's try something different with Jim. Oh, that didn't work. Wait, let's try something different with Terry.
Well, here's the thing.
No, it didn't work. Try it with Judy. And then they gave up. So, but
well, you know what? That brings up a really, really good point. See, now when my kids, 3 girls, when they misbehaved, all right. So Jessie's punishment was to take away her cell phone.
Three girls.
Yeah.
Oh, gosh, save me. Yeah.
She lost phone privileges. Okay. Amanda lost TV privileges. And Cindy was sent to her room, in which I removed all the books from her room.
So you monster.
What was the point of sending her to her room? She'd go to her room and read a book.
That was a play place. You
monster.
with punishments to fit the age difference between all of them.
They were all 18 months apart.
Holy crap! Almost Irish twins. Holy crap! Good for you. I got them done. So you just
boom, boom, boom. I'm done.
Get it done and over with. That's it. I had one. That was enough for me. So you just kind of progressed your learning of what was working to what was fitting, what didn't work, and moved it on, and didn't work and didn't move it on. Okay. Yeah, that's what we all do, I think. Yeah.
Cindy still brings that up. You're the only mother right now that took away my books. And I'm like, but what was the point of sending you to your room if all you were going to do there is read a book? It's not a punishment. So,
or watch TV.
Oh, Cindy never watched TV. I could put the TV could stay in her room. You know what? It was like she was like lowering herself to watch TV.
Oh, wow, that's different. Wow.
Yeah, but that was Cindy.
But that's good. She's a bookworm. Good for her.
Well, you can tell by my reaction that I was a bookworm. Like I somewhat shook off, only slightly traumatized, getting beaten. But take away my books? No. Oh no. I would be like trying to call up social services. Excuse me. They took I would be hiding. I'd be breaking out of the room. Shit would have just gotten 10 times worse. Whatever I did to deserve that punishment, things would have gotten 10 times worse. Oof.
Okay.
I don't even know where we were. I'm just so like.
I think we've solved some of the major problems of the world right now.
Of the world?
And yes. Wine's kicking in and blood pressure's down and I'm hungry. And
okay, so all of us are going. You're going to Hershey, correct?
Hell yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Hell yeah. Yeah. I get in. We're actually, Judy and I are doing, we go in. I go in on Tuesday. I mean, I have given Bathe a Brusher for probably 25 years at this show. And it's an old, long-standing seminar. And if I go in on Wednesday, and coming in from Southern California, where I'm right between Palm Springs and Ontario Airport. LAX is on a good day without putting your foot on the brake at all. Easy 2 hours ride. Okay. I am not doing that. So to get from here to there, I got to do like a 3-way connection.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh, isn't that fun?
It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. I'm flying out of SeaTac, right? And at first it was just one layover, and then they say, "Oh, by the way, now you got 2 layovers." So, and it's a red eye to start off with. So I'm flying into Detroit, and then after Detroit, they're sending me down to Atlanta, and then from Atlanta up to Harrisburg.
What the fuck?
Because
Atlanta's, oh, Delta. Oh, sorry.
Now, Mary,
yes,
I offered if you wanted to fly into Newark.
I need to leave Sunday.
Oh, yeah, no.
So you're not going to drive me out to Newark Airport on Sunday, are you?
Not Newark.
No, that would be Monday. If you're willing to leave on Monday.
That's where they're going to stick it right there.
Hey.
Right in Newark Airport.
Yeah, well, we need a good clean out. Yeah, I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, it probably would work. Yeah, I need a 3-way connection. And so where I almost missed, if I miss a flight on Wednesday, if I'm flying in from here on Wednesday, if I miss a connection or miss a flight, they don't get me in my class on Thursday at noon. It just doesn't work. So years ago, Sally Liddick did a special dispensation from Pope Sally, okay, where I fly in on Tuesday. Now, there have been several occasions where I have come exceedingly, dangerously, nervously close to missing a flight on that Tuesday and having to overnight somewhere in some godforsaken airport. And last year was one of them. I mean, I came real close to saying, "Bep, not going to make it." And I think I got into the Hershey Lodge at like 2:00 in the morning. So I get in on Tuesday, and on Wednesday, I make a reservation at the Hershey Hotel Spa. And this year, Judy Breton is joining me once again for the first time in quite a number of years. We've done this. And the worst that can happen is I lose my spa deposit. So, but at least I'm there for my seminar on Thursday. So,
yeah, I'm supposed to arrive now Wednesday around 5:00. But I have my layover time.
Wait, you're leaving Sunday?
I have to leave Sunday.
Where the hell are you spending those next 3 days?
No. I'm going to be at Hershey.
You're leaving Sunday.
Oh, no. She's leaving Hershey Sunday night.
Oh,
no, more like Sunday afternoon. I'm leaving.
Oh, okay.
I'm leaving. I have a 5 a.m. out of Hershey, of Harrisburg on Sunday morning. I was supposed to be going to the World Championships, and we have had to postpone that. Ooh, we got time.
Oh, well, we have 2 more commercial breaks to get through. So let's take that last one while Mary's dogs tell us all about it. Tell us about it. Tell us everything. Okay, wow, that was bad. And now, Mary, you put me on the spot. So I feel like I have to entertain people. And one day I will get my soundboard. We will actually fix up our Patreon page. By the way, we have a new Patreon subscriber who I forgot to give a shout out to.
Who's that?
I will edit that in. She is fantastic. And I'm super, super grateful. And I'll edit that right in because I noticed that like 3 weeks ago. And actually, no, I noticed that a lot longer ago. But I've been doing too many trade shows and my brain is fried.
It wasn't Vegas fun.
Wasn't getting to Vegas
actually
fun.
Vegas was a good show this year.
Good. Vegas was well attended.
Yes.
I mean, yeah. I mean, it's a 3.5, 4 hour drive from me. It's a beautiful drive, as a matter of fact. But yeah, I mean, Vegas was decently attended. I was very pleased with the entry.
They had more grooming vendors there too this year.
Absolutely. Well,
Did.
you remember last year when so much, were you there last, anybody, either of you?
I was there last year.
Okay, you
Yeah.
remember when so much of it was draped off? Because, I mean, a lot of the vendors could not come. They would not come because of COVID, or maybe they could not come, say from overseas.
Right.
So those draped off areas were gone. That friggin' beach party absolutely was awesome.
fast. Yes. And I don't usually do the networking parties
That was good.
because they usually, some of them don't start till like 9 o'clock at night. And I'm like, I'm really sorry, but you know what? I am not attending something at that starts at 9 o'clock at night.
No, this was
Good night. I'll see you in the morning.
give a,
Um,
give a shout out to Vic Mason, the president
Yeah.
of WPA. I mean, they had 2,300 people that they clicked in to that party. You didn't have to wait for food.
Nope.
You didn't have to wait for booze.
Nope.
It was very well attended. They could not get the House of Blues. It was pre-booked. I mean, that's how.
Yeah, I was wondering.
Yeah, people wonder why you can't, some of these shows, and having been on the promoter side of it with Intergroom and a couple other shows, people wonder, why can't they book this? Why can't they book that? These things are booked years in advance. They really are. So they could not get the House of Blues, or either that or somebody came up with bigger bucks. What can I say? They couldn't get the House of Blues, which is where they normally have a party / concert, whatever. So they went with the beach party, and Vic,
Which I think was, I would do that again.
oh, absolutely. I mean, there were the pools were filled, people were hanging out. It was fun. It was relaxing. It was actually, it cooled on down. It was comfortable, and they were crossing their fingers and hoping, because I mean, I live in the desert. Okay, so I'm watching the sky and I'm like, okay, they might get rain. What comes with rain in the desert? Lightning. So they were a little concerned about watching with that, but it was all good. So they went forward. But yeah, that was a great party. Great idea. Kudos to WPA for a very, very good industry party.
Yeah. I know. I thought, and I would like to do a shout out to Janelle. Because she's been doing a phenomenal job, and I have to give her credit for as far as on the speaker end of things running as smooth as they did.
She's a goddess. She is, and to be, she's good people. She's just good people. She's a very fix-it people.
Yeah.
Yes.
Very fix-it. You go to her with an issue. I hate the word problem. Go to her with an issue and say, hey, got this, done.
Oh, yes. I sent her an email and I have a response that day, generally like within the hour.
That's, and I think I'll buy her a bottle of wine next time I'm out there. Yeah.
There you go.
They're not too terribly far from me. I'll just take a trip on by and bring her a bottle of wine and say, here, you need this.
I am sorry I missed the beach party, but I had a flight canceled getting in. So I got in, I got to the hotel midnight at that morning. And, it was a 3-hour time difference. And we got back to actually before we got to the hotel, because we got in the car to go back to our hotel. And I'm like, well, maybe I can make it back there for the party. I sat down in the car and went, it was done. I was done.
Yeah.
And I was fine during the day, and I'm on energy. Sat down in the car and it was over.
I think one of the things we should maybe think about is maybe next year for Hershey, doing a spa date for people.
You know what?
This is going to be my last year going to Hershey.
I need to plan for that.
Year? Why are you so definitively last year?
Because it's too difficult to get out there. All right. So I can't just fly into Harrisburg. I got to fly
into the choir. I mean, come on,
my other options then is either to fly into JFK or Philadelphia and then rent a car, which I don't want to do that either. So it's just, those 2 layovers are going to kill me. I'm going
It's
to.
not that bad. It
No,
really
no,
is.
no, no, no,
It is
no.
when there's storms. Yeah, Have a
2
talk.
layovers are going to
Okay,
kill me.
talk about it later. But
Okay,
no,
Mary.
I think if we could get it, Groom Team we did an auction, a raffle a couple of years ago. And a group of us had been doing Melissa Verplank, Kathy Rose, Judy Breton, myself, my sister actually came down from New York, and we did the Hershey Spa. And there is one package that you can get, and it's almost $500. Okay, this is what we spend for that one day. It includes lunch. It is just luxurious.
And by the
okay?
way, the food at the hotel, this is not the Hershey Lodge. This is the Hershey Hotel.
Hotel.
And if you've never visited there, gone there, seen the grounds, maybe do it once. It's fancy. It is fancy. And Teri, you know what? This year, I didn't plan far enough in advance for it.
Should have joined us.
Next year, I did not have any place to move my appointments. But next year, that's it. Next year, I'm planning for it well in advance.
That's it. Yeah, we ended up selling tickets for this and the Hershey Spa. And we sold 100 tickets at like $20 a piece or something. You know who bought the tickets? All the vendors.
Uh-huh.
All the vendors, because they're the ones that are guaranteed they're going to be going to Hershey, and vendors and groomers that were competing. And Francis won it that year, and that was a very profitable experience. But it was fun. It's one of those things that we owe ourselves. Okay, does that make it sound any different or any better? We owe it to ourselves, and I stash away my dollars for the year and say, this is my Hershey,
Mm-hmm.
And
Hershey fund, Hershey piggy
over
bank.
$500. I don't care. I don't care.
And yeah. And you know what? You should sell tickets again, because I will totally buy a couple tickets this year.
That was actually a good one. We got to remember that. Yeah.
And before we take our last commercial break and do our wrap up, I want to apologize officially to Shauna Gardner, who became our Patreon back in July. I'm sorry. I blame my utter lack of tech savvy and the fact that I haven't gotten back on that bandwagon. Shauna, you're awesome and we love you. And accept my friend request, because I just sent you one on Facebook. Wait, hopefully you will have seen that before this airs. But now you also get a shout out on the podcast, because we love and appreciate you so much. Because one day I'm going to get
a soundboard
where I will load all these profanity laden sound bites. Like,
so,
you know what you
anyone
need?
who is
Pussy
listening,
Prozac.
Carrie's been very good tonight. I drop it a couple of times, but not.
Oh, she's gonna have to earn that.
Yeah.
For me. But anyway, the Patreon is to fund the soundboard. So so Chris has been desperately trying to get me to drop the F-bomb because she wants to make a soundbite out of it.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just making it
okay. So there's a value to you dropping the F-bomb, right?
Well, you know what? We'll do this. If we get enough on the Patreon to get Chris her soundboard, I will drop the F-bomb.
Okay. All right.
Intentional on purpose.
Intentionally on purpose.
Ladies and gentlemen. Okay, wait. Now I got to go find out how much the soundboard I want. Let's take our last commercial break while I check this out on Amazon. All right. I'm going to say we're back. My lists, because Susie of the Groom Pod is a quote unquote bad influence.
Oh no, Susie's great, and she's a best friend with me, an ultra friend, Pokemon best friend with me. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, but she has a bad influence on Chris.
Well, shit happens. What can I say? You Pokey, don't you, Mary?
Yeah, I think I do, but I can't get into my account. So I have to reset it. I have to reset a new account, and I just haven't gotten around to do
No,
it.
don't reset a new account. You got it. You gain stuff. I mean, what level are you?
I have no idea. If I could get into my Pokemon account, I'd tell you.
My sister got me started on this years ago, and it's supposed to get you up and moving. Well, good luck to that. You know, but it's
Especially when the Pokemons are in your living room. It's like, I don't know if they go anywhere.
not, and it's not what I realized easy on. It's not a game. It's a hobby.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It is a hobby where you spend time and money. I mean, these guys at Niantic, they must make a freaking fortune off to the side. Saying it's incredible. But yeah,
How much is that soundboard, Chris?
Yeah, how much is that soundboard? We can get Pokemon to Niantic to.
I can't find the one that Susie sent me now. I thought I saved it to the list.
You both saved all of your Barkley things. I don't have any of them. Oh my God.
I see some sticking in there. Is that from this year?
I have no idea.
No, I haven't gotten mine from this year.
I haven't either.
Okay, I've been very fortunate in winning a number of these. Yeah.
You know what? Now I got to look it up. I want to say it was under $1,000.
Okay.
I have 8 of those awards sitting back there.
Yeah. I mean, I've got all these posters up here, but I do not have the actual award. Well, you know what? Honestly, I take that back. Geef won one year, but they only give out one medal. So Ileana got it.
I've been very fortunate. I really should take stock in what I've gotten. I mean, I got a bunch for journalists. I've gotten a lot for judge, and I'm up for judge again. And that one, that AK,
that's a nice one. That's the one I almost crushed on you, right?
I'm sorry, what's that?
That's the one I almost crushed on you, right?
Oh, the airplane ended up breaking the glass.
Oh, okay.
They ended
I
up
don't feel
breaking
so
the glass,
bad.
and I had to have it replaced, and the airport played me. Yeah, but that was an absolute. I mean, you talk about. I was totally speechless. That was the AKC Leadership Award, and that was the first one they had given out, and I was just absolutely what. Wait a minute, because it's so funny, because I walked in there and I saw the award table, and Kathy was running the blah blah at that time, and I said, "Oh, this is really cool. This is nice. Who's getting that?" She goes, "I have no idea," and she knew full well. She knew full well, and I'm like, "This is really nice. That's going to look nice on somebody's wall." Right?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, it's all just been, there's one thing, just wrapping up, this industry has been so good to me. This industry has been so good to all of us.
Mm-hmm.
We got to take stock. People have to stop taking stock of what they have to do and what they have to accomplish and what they haven't done. Sit back and take stock of what you have accomplished. And that is a winner right there. Surround yourself, if you have a private office, which most of us should have, surround yourself with what you have done, to remind yourself of what you have done. Because if you continuously look at what you have to do, that is such a negative connotation. I mean, I make a list. I have my list of things, and I cross out things. And so many people will make a new list. I don't make a new list until everything on that list is crossed out. Because I have to remind myself of what I've done. And everybody needs to do that, because it's a big confidence thing.
How much wine, before we wrap up, how much wine is left in that bottle?
Oh, and by the way, the soundboard is under $500. So,
Now, okay, granted, I came into this, it was halfway.
That is true.
Okay, halfway.
I would be asleep by now. I enjoy wine, but it puts me to sleep.
I have tolerance. What can I say?
Yeah. Practice.
Well, I guess being in a wine club would help with that, right?
Fucking wine club, it pissed me off. It should be, a wine club should be fun, right? But it's like, if you want the job, you're going to tell me how to do my job. That's fine. Do it. Watch what you ask for. You just might get it.
Yeah. Okay, so that note, Terry, thank you so much for taking time out of your day to do this. We appreciate
Absolutely. This has been fun. This has been an absolute, this has been a very well needed release for me. Thank you very much.
Thank you for coming
Got to do
by
it again
and
sometime.
visiting with us. And until we see you next week, thank you for digressing with us. Safe travels, y'all.
My pleasure. Safe travels to everyone.
Well, that was fun. But now it's time to head home. We hope you enjoyed listening as much as we enjoyed chatting with you. If there are any topics you'd like us to discuss or guests you want to see join us on this crazy road trip of ours, let us know in the Traveling Groomers Facebook page. Don't forget to thank our sponsors. And see you next week, guys. Safe travels.